Welcome back to Adria Karting Raceway, Pre-Final B about to come onto the circuit in just a moment. This is the grid, the Great Dane, David Walter on pole position, alongside the local driver Sebastiano Pavana, Jedasam Skulinov, Fast Freddy. Out of grid 4, Marcus Sata, Kirill Ditsiev. The Russians keep on coming, don't they? The Belgian Len Nice, Dmitry Matveev, who's had success here in the past, Antonov, Jan Puhui, Darius Babuana and Frey, Kashpriski, Nathan Tai, Fotibs, Thomas Stralvan, Irfan, Mark Dudnitsky for Dan Holland Racing, Matthias Oruela for Shemek Europe, and Simone Bianco now with Koski Motorsport. Jules Caranta, the French driver, is alongside the Belgian Dowie Tedeka, Leo Nielsen, Piotr Shaya, Nando Wakes-Obama back on 25 alongside the Dane from Spain, Louis Laveau, Rodella, Troitsky, Yichen Q on debut alongside Guy Albergino, Filip Newandowski, Kamenek, Sergio Koch for Innovate Competition, and Michael Hlavacek. Adria Karting Raceway, Pre-Final B for OKJ. The Great Dane, David Walter, on pole position. We race. Nice start from David. Jedasam Skulinov tries the outside line, but runs out of road, does the Russian, and the CRG driver has just been mauled. He's back in 5th place. Here comes the Ward Racing team drivers up into 2nd place. Here's Kirill Ditsiev. That's a nice start from the 3rd row of the grid in 3.29. Marcus is 3.23. A clean start for Pre-Final B as David Walter leads a Tony Kart 1-2. Freddie in B3. Len Nice, Dmitry Matveev also up in the top 5 early on in this race. Here's Dmitry for Koski Motorsport. His teammate leads as the rest of the field form through. Nice start also by Jan Puhui, the Chinese driver for Beyond Racing Team, the new team set up by Neil McKernan. World renowned, particularly when it comes to 100cc works of art, but also racing OKJ in the pre-final of the WSK Final Cup. Jan Puhui is up into P9. Started on the 5th row of the grid in the TM-powered KART Republic. As we say, most of the time we see KART Republics powered by an IAMI, but it's a TM on the Chinese driver's kart, as we have a problem for Louis Laveau further back in the pack, who is circulating slowly. And it looks as though Guy Albergino is also out. So the end of the 2nd lap in just a moment as the field pulled through the hairpin safely for the 2nd time. David Walter with Kirill Ditsiev right behind him. They race down into turn 1. The Dane from the Russian, Fast Freddy the Brit, in P3 for Ricky Flynn Motorsport, Matveev Sata. P5 in 3.23, Pavan from the outside of the front row of the grid. The top Italian is back in 6th place. The Chetila Racing entry, of course, Chetila Racing also competing in various forms of motorsport. The World Endurance Championship with Roberto Lacorte, Giorgio Sernagiotto, Antonio Fuoco as well, also racing with us in the Italian F4 Championship, powered by Abarth. That's presented by WSK Promotion as well, as Kirill dives down the inside to take the lead. The Chetila Racing team driver entry, Sebastiano Pavan from the outside of the front row of the grid, the 3.45 KART Republic. There he is. He's back in 6th place. So Kirill now with the lead for Joachim Ward's team. The Swedish team's so competitive over the past few decades. They've had some legendary drivers as well over the years. Most recently taking out so many titles in WSK competition. Dino Beganovic, remember Dynamite Dino, racing with us in the Italian F4 Championship as well, standing on the top step of the podium here at Adria just 2 seasons ago. But now young Kirill in P1 in the 3.29 Vortex-powered Tony Kart. It's a Vortex-powered Tony Kart in 2nd place. It's a Vortex-powered Cosmic in P3. Matveev also for Cosmic makes it an OTK 1-2-3-4, and Sata makes it an OTK 1-2-3-4-5. There is the Norwegian in P5, fighting with Sebastiano Pavan. Len Nice, Jan Puhui goes by Jedasam Skulinov. The CRG 357 has not made the best start. He was on the outside in turn 1. You can just see him behind the Beyond Racing entry of Jan Puhui, ahead of Simone Bianco, who's also with Koski Motorsport. Simone now in P10 after storming through from the 10th row of the grid. in the opening stages of the race. In the first 5 laps, Simone Bianco has passed 10 karts. Darius Babuana, the Romanian, has had a problem off screen. Circulating slowly, it looks as though the Romanians' weekend is about to end. As David Walter gets the slipstream down into turn 1, Freddie's catching them. Freddie with a 49, 1.90, 3/10 of a second. Slater in P3 is catching the 2 Tony karts, first and second. That is Matviv just behind Dmitry Matviv, who won the WSK Final Cup right here at Adria in 2019. That was in 60 Mini, the day he led home a Russian 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What a momentous day that was for the Russians when Matviv led home Anatoly Kavalkin, who just a few moments ago won Prefinal A, and Maximilian Popov was third on the podium that day 2 years ago. Dmitry Matviv in P4 at the moment in OK Junior. He's got Sebastiano Pavan right behind him. The Italian is recovering. That's Sata going through from Lemnis, Yampui, Bianco, Skulinov, Antonov, Frey, Fortiv, Irfan, Nathan Tai, the Brit. Nathan Tai goes by in P15 behind his countryman and ahead of Marcel Kaspritsky in the 333 Cosmic. And at the moment, the Belgian Thomas Stralvan in the Ricky Flynn Motorsport kart. He's the final qualifier at the moment provisionally ahead of Jules Caranta. David Walter sits there right behind Kirill Ditsiev. Thankfully, somewhat of a sedate race. This is what we saw throughout the heats yesterday. Very few incidents as Walter down the inside retakes the top spot. Freddie's right there. Freddie Slater, yeah, course boy. Slater in P3. He's caught them. An OTK 1, 2, 3. The Tony karts from the Cosmic, Koski Motorsport, Ward Racing, Ricky Flynn Motorsport. 3 outstanding world-class racing teams and 3 mega young talents as well, as Freddie leaves it very late up the inside. That did not work. Kirill Ditsiev just resists the challenge of the 2020 world champion. Goes defensive. This time Slater slams it down the inside and Kirill has no response. Pavan is right there as well, trying to break the OTK stranglehold. Sata and Matviv having their own private battle just behind. Marcus has got by Dimitri. And in the background, coming is Lemnis and Yampu Hui. Simone Bianco up into P9 from grid 20 in the 314 Koski Motorsport kart. Walter, the Great Dane, leads half-race distance, Prefinal B. OK Junior, the WSK Final Cup 2021. Kirill down the inside. Freddie went defensive, though. They're starting to bunch up as Slater looks over his shoulder. Pavan! Oh, what a move. It did not pay off, though. But he means business, the Italian. Just slams it up the inside. He does lose momentum on the exit. Watch Sata. Like a missile in the heats yesterday. Sebastiano Pavan almost white lines it into the hairpin. He'll be slow out of it. Sata was as well. That blocks the momentum from Matviv as they race down the straight. One more time, the second half of Prefinal B here this morning. There's Slater going through. Kirill Ditsiev, Sebastiano Pavan. Watch the Italian into turn 2. But Kirill closes the door. Marcus Sata, 3-2-3 in the Ward Racing Tony car. Gets the line around the outside. You can't pass there, although he almost did it. Right, the ripple strip. Kirill goes defensive. He'll be vulnerable on the exit. Sebastiano Pavan lines up the Russian. That's where he did it a moment ago. In turn 5, again, it does not pay off. The same trick did not work the first time, and neither the second time. Down over the ripple strip. He's losing time now. He'll lose positions as well. Matviv goes by. There's Sata in behind. Yampu Hui for the Beyond Racing team of Neil McKernan. And behind him, Lemnis as well. Simone Bianco will catch this battle as well. There's the Italian, who incidentally has just been passed by the Swiss driver, Enya Frey. As they fight, David Walter pulls away. 6 laps remaining. Prefinal B, the 2021 WSK Final Cup here at Adria Raceway. 345 is the Italian. He tries passing in turn 5 into the hairpin this time. They'll be all slow on the exit. Watch into turn 5. Jan Puhui's got the momentum in the very brightly coloured KART Republic. Kirill Ditsiev down the inside. That was half an attack on Pavan. More defensive, though, on the Chinese driver. And Len Nice as well, the Belgian, in the KART Republic there to fight as well. Walter is gone. Slater in second place. There's Kirill Ditsiev, lowers the blind on the radiator. It is a very cool morning, just 8 degrees Celsius. Thankfully, it's dry as the field poured down into turn 1. That's Kaspritsky going through. Nathan Tai goes by in the Sodi kart. Dowie Tedeka not having a good run, and it's unlikely the Belgian will make the final. He's in 22nd place. You've got a glimpse of the 302 BWT. KART Republic is down in 22nd, ahead of the 2 Poles, Piotr Shaya and Lewandowski. Alvise Radella. Nando is behind, ahead of Kamenek. Sergio Koch, and the final runner at the moment is the Dane from Spain, Louis Laveau. David Walter leads with 4 laps now remaining in Pre-Final B as he comes across the line for the 12th time. Slater won't catch him. The gap is 1.5 seconds. There is Matvey, Pavan, Sata. There's Kaspritsky. Nathan Tai has just been passed by his countryman, Josh Irfan. The final qualifying position at the moment as Dowie Tedeka goes through in the BWT KART Republic. It's Jules Garanta, P17. 310 for KART Republic, the driver from Saint-Tropez down in the south of France, where you can guarantee the weather is a whole lot warmer than it is here in the north of Italy this morning. The final day of the 2021 WSK season. David Walter, the Dane, for Jan Koski Motorsport P1. Pavan takes Matviv into the hairpin. Positions change further back as well. Gilles Caranta trying to move. There's Pavan now up into P4. Goes by Dmitry Matveev, who's had a stunning mid part of the season. So quick is Dmitry. As we say, he won the WSK Final Cup in 60 Mini almost 2 years ago to the day at this very circuit. Simone Bianco just being passed by German Fortev in the 369 kart. German in 12th place at the moment for Revolution Motorsport, the TM-powered Tony kart. Just behind Simone Bianco, who's come from grid 20 to be in 11th place. There's Nathan Tai going through. He's on the back of Jedisam Skulinov, who has gone backwards. He's almost at risk of not qualifying. This is the penultimate lap of the race. Anatoly Kavalkin will start on the front row of the grid for the final, the Russian in the Paralympic kart. He won Pre-Final A few moments ago. It is very likely he'll be joined by the Great Dane, David Walter. He disappears into the distance, the gap 1.8 seconds. Slater won't catch him. Ditsiev in P3. The final qualifying position at the moment for Dan Holland Racing. It's the Estonian Mark Duknitsky. Jan Puhui has just been passed right there and then. Enya Frey now up into 7th place. As we go back in the pack, Kaspritsky leaves the door open and Josh Irfan just drives by. This is the last lap of the race. David Walter in P1. Slater actually being caught by Kirill Ditsiev. He won't catch him though. It will be an OTK 1, 2, 3. The Tony kart, the Cosmic, and the Tony kart. That's how they'll finish. Sebastiano Pavan in the KART Republic in P4 for Chetila Racing Team driver. Further back, look at Enya Frey having to defend from Stepan Antonov, Jan Puhui, Simone Bianco on the final lap of the race. Position 17 at the moment is still Jules Caranta, ahead of the Colombian-American Matias Oruela. Dubnitsky's fallen back to 19th. This is the race leader. This inevitably is the race winner, David Walter. Slater safely goes defensive out of the hairpin for the final time. He's got 2nd place under control. The checkered flag waves. It is the Great Dane, David Walter, who will join Anatoly Kavalkin on the front row of the grid for the final. We wait for the rest of the field to come across the line. There's Bianco ahead of Fortev, Len Nice, Irfan. Nathan Tai goes by in P14. Kaspritsky 15. Jedisam Skulinov. Wow, just scrapes through, does the Russian, after starting on the 2nd row of the grid the 357 CRG in 16th, and the final qualifying position is taken by Jules Caranta. Walter wins it from Slater, Kirill Ditiev, Sebastiano Pavan, Dmitry Matveev, Enya Frey storms home to P6 ahead of Antonov. Good drive from Stepan as well. Sata back to 8th at the end of the race. Yampu Hui and Simone Bianco also for Koski Motorsport in P10. German Forte for Revolution Motorsport ahead of Len Nice. Josh Herfan and Nathan Ty, the two Brits through, ahead of Kaspritsky. The pole in 333 for Jastrzebski Racing. Jetta Samskulanov scrapes through in 16th ahead of Jules Caranta. So the grid is set. The final this afternoon, which we will bring you live, the first of our 4 finals, is at 20 minutes past 2. Our broadcast will start around about 8 minutes prior to that, so join us at just after 2 o'clock local time in Italy.